The notorious Irish gangster Wayne Dundon strikes again, this time targeting prison officers in a daring blade attack that sent shockwaves through the corridors of justice. In a shocking turn of events, infamous Irish gangster Wayne Dundon was recently involved in a violent brawl that erupted within Mountjoy Prison. Blades were used as trouble fields, injuring four prison staff and leaving one inmate with a serious wound. Mountjoy Prison, regarded as one of the most dangerous in the system, is currently housing a life sentence for the murder of an innocent Limerick businessman, Roy Collins. Let us look at Wayne Dundon's turbulent life, his influence in Limerick's underworld, and the recent shocking incident that led to its transfer to Portland Prison. It was just an ordinary day at the prison, but little did these brave officers know that danger lurked around the corner. Wayne Dundon, infamous for his ruthless reign of terror, had devised a cunning plan from behind bars. Armed with nothing but a concealed blade, he was determined to strike fear into the hearts of those tasked with keeping him locked away. As the attack unfolded, chaos erupted within the prison walls. In a matter of moments, the lives of several officers were forever altered. As the news spread like wildfire, the nation grappled with the realization that even behind bars, dangerous criminals wield unimaginable power. Wayne Dundon's reign of terror continues to leave a trail of devastation not just within the prison walls but across their entire country. Today, we stand in solidarity with the brave officers who put their lives on the line every day to protect us. The resilience and dedication to duty are commendable, but we must now come together to demand justice and a safer system for all. Disturbed World. Wayne Dundon's notoriety stems from his involvement in one of the bloodiest feuds between drug gangs in Limerick, which lasted from the late 1990s to the late 2000s. A devastating turf war erupted during the conflict, resulting in the deaths of 20 people. Various factions were involved in the feud, including the Keane and Calliope gangs from St. Mary's Park, the McCarthy Ryans from Maury Ross, and Dundon's own Brilliant mob from Western Australia. The feud reached a climax when the Donald McCarthy mob murdered two innocent members of the Republic. In 2008, rugby player Shane Goffgan was killed as a result of a mistaken identity, while businessman Roy Collins was killed in 2009 after members of his family testified against Wayne Dundon in a criminal trial. These high-profile killings prompted authorities to crack down on gangs and put an end to the violence. Even when in prison, Wayne Dundon remains a powerful figure in his native Limerick, commanding respect and loyalty from many. There are suspicions that he continues to operate his drug business and issue orders to gang members while incarcerated. According to recent reports, well, the most recent as they can be, he has been directing a teenage associate who has been involved in criminal activities and attempting to re-establish the Dundon gang's influence in the area. In one such operation earlier this year, the development prompted massive guard raids after the teenage associate threatened the Dundon brothers' old rivals who seized a cocaine press and quantities of the drug. When the young associate was arrested in the United Kingdom for kidnapping and extortion with the late Cornelius Price, a key figure in the drug head feud who died earlier that year, he was living in Limerick and being mentored by Wayne's brothers. Wayne Dundon was recently involved in a serious incident that was within Mountjoy Prison, as it was recently revealed. He launched a vicious attack on fellow inmate Stephen Ryan, sparking an altercation after the two prisoners exchanged heated words. Dundon, a notoriously violent mob boss, then launched a brutal assault on Coveney Ryan. As the argument heated up, Dundon brandished a knife, prompting police officers to intervene and save Coveney Ryan's life. Despite the efforts of the staff, Coveney Ryan suffered a severe neck wound that required 20 stitches. The blade had just missed his jugular by 2 millimeters. Four prison staff members who attempted to protect Coveney Ryan were injured in the ensuing chaos, with, two sustaining blade cuts and other two nursing limb injuries as a result of the incident. Wayne Dundon was later informed of his transfer to Port Lismore Prison. However, his arrival at the new facility was hampered when he failed a metal detector test, raising suspicions that he was attempting to smuggle a mobile phone before being admitted to the general prison population. Duncan must pass the boss's chair's stringent security measures. A body oracle security scanner that detects contraband items. Dundon is now on an A5 punishment landing at Port Leash Prison, the most secure prison in the country. Other notorious criminals who live on the A5 landing include Alan Wilson, a hired gunman, and Graham McAvery, a convicted murderer. McAvery was assigned to A5 after attempting to escape from custody by stabbing a prison officer with a makeshift shiv in a prison van. The length of Dundon's sentence remains unknown, but the challenges and consequences of his violent actions continue to shape his life behind bars. Garda began investigation into vicious blade attack at Mountjoy Prison. The Garda have launched an investigation after a vicious knife attack inside Mountjoy Prison. A prisoner and 4 prisoner staff were injured in the attack, which was allegedly led by Limerick crime boss Wayne Dundon. Following the melee on Monday, July 10th, one prisoner suffered a slash wound to his neck and required approximately 20 stitches. According to Irish Prison Service, the IPS, an incident involving 4 prison officers occurred in Mountjoy Prison on July 10, 2023. Because the incident is being investigated and an An Garda Síochána has been notified, the Irish Prison Service cannot comment on an ongoing investigation. Violence against a corrections officer is totally unacceptable. Prison staff work in an extremely challenging environment where they face unique and often violent circumstances on a daily basis, unlike most others in the public sector. The physical environment in which prison staff operate, paired with the often challenging behaviors and needs of those in our care, lead at times to prison staff being injured in the course of their duties. The spokesman of the Garda said that he would look into it and revert with a response in due course. Wayne Dundon, who was sentenced to life in prison in 2014 for the murder of innocent amusement arcade owner Roy Collins in April of 2009 with 2 of his trusted criminal lieutenants, Nathan Killeen and James Dillon, has reportedly been masterminding plans from behind bars to reclaim control of the drugs trade on Limerick City's south side. Dundon's brother, John Dundon, is serving a life sentence in prison for the 2008 murder of innocent Shane Duggan. Mr. Duggan, a popular Garryowen and rugby player, was shot dead by Dundon hitman Barry Doyle, who was also sentenced to life in prison. Desi Dundon, Wayne and John Dundon's sister, is serving life in prison for the 2003 murder of their rival crime boss Kieran King. Another brother, Jared Dundon, was sentenced to 15 years in prison in the UK last May after being convicted of his role in the violent kidnapping of 2 men in order to extort more than €300,000 sterling. Garda dismantled Wayne Dundon's gang after convincing gang associates to testify against the gang's leaders. According to sources, a young associate with Wayne Dundon has recently enlisted the help of UK gangsters to help enforce the gang's presence on the south side of Limerick City in order to claim control of the drugs trade there. According to a source, this group has been throwing their weight around and is once again attempting to take over the drug business on Treaty City's south side. They have been calling other drug dealers and telling them to hit it on the head, on one source said. And that concludes our video of how prison officers were hospitalized after this Irish gangster, well, of course, the one and only Wayne Dundon's blade was the one that pierced their bodies. Just imagine being a officer, just a prison officer. I mean, you're well aware of all of this because obviously you are housing criminals, you're housing dangerous people, you're housing people that cannot be trusted and should not be trusted. And they are the kind of people that should be rehabilitated or in some ways even incarcerated in such ways that they cannot even bounce back. But you are just a normal prison guard, an officer, and you get stabbed. That too by not just some random thug, but an Irish gangster, Wayne Dundon himself. It's honestly very messed up when you hear things like these. Innocent people are put at risk just because these animals, these bastards cannot control themselves and go nuts and they have to attack, well, innocent people. But that's how they work, right? They prey on the innocents. They prey on people below them. Guards, police officers, anyone in the position of authority or in the line of duty always gets caught in the crossfire. And there's nothing we can do about it except hope for the best. And maybe hope and wish that things could get better because they should. People like them don't deserve this. And gangsters should rot. As we continue to follow this developing story, we urge you to join the conversation in the comments below. Share your thoughts on the incident and what you believe can be done to ensure the safety of prison officers and the public. Thank you for watching this important update. If you found this news report informative, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our breaking news stories. Prepare to be blown away by the twisted story of the Irish Kinahan clan and their homie now Fall Fussy, aka, and how the Irish Kinahan clan attempted to free now Fall F with explosives. So gather your snacks, let us get this party started. But wait until we get into the nitty-gritty details. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We do not want you to miss out on anything from our crew. Believe me, you will not want to miss out on these wild crimes. Listen up, we've got mad viewers who ain't even subbed. We work so hard with so much love to create this dope content, and we're trying to keep it going. We need your help. Listen up. The word on the street is that those Irish Kinahan tried some messed up stuff to bust and are now fussy about getting out of jail. Can you believe it? They had the audacity to use explosives when he was being taken to court. Fortunately, their sorry assessment failed spectacularly. But you know what? The escape. The Irish government is not taking any chances. They have increased security to ensure that no one tries to free that man again. However, according to other reports, it was not to free him, but because he knew too much. Okay, let us get into this twisted story of Ridwan Taghi, the Netherlands' most infamous mafia boss, now following Fassi, a real piece of work with ties to cartel boss Daniel Ken. For obvious reasons, this scumbag, also known as Mr. Couscous and Belly, has been buddying with Kinahan for nearly 2 decades, and let me tell you, this is not a friendly tea party. Fassi has established himself as a major player in the global drug trade, with connections stretching like a spider web across the United States, South America, and Africa. But C is not content with simply being a drug lord. Oh no, this guy made his way to Ireland and devised some nefarious plans. He is narcissistic, ruthless, unpredictable, and impulsive, with no apparent conscience. He directed vicious attacks on the rival Hutch gang, leaving a trail of blood in his wake. As if that were not enough, he had the audacity to arrange fake travel documents for Daniel and Christopher Kinahan, allowing those scumbags to avoid detection. But do you know what? The United States government is not taking this lightly. They've blacklisted Daniel and Christopher Kinahan, as well as their brother, Christian Jr., and placed a $15 million bounty on their heads. Those scumbags lead to Kinahan Organized Crime Group, also known as the Kinahan Cartel. This gang is a major Irish transnational organized crime syndicate, rumored to be the most powerful in Ireland and one of the most powerful organized crime groups in the world. They have dirty hands in a number of countries, including Ireland, the United Kingdom, Spain, and the United Arab Emirates. Christy Kinahan established this cesspool in the 1990s, but it is his eldest son, Daniel, who calls the shots and runs the family's criminal enterprise on a daily basis. These scumbags are expected to be worth a staggering sum of up to $1 billion. That is a lot of money, my friends. Since 2015, the Kinahan cartel has been in a bloody feud with the Hutch gang. Let me tell you, it has been a bloodbath. There have been 18 deaths in this Sig River as of August of 2021. And guess what? Some of those murders were carried out by that multi-chinned fatso himself. Yeah, that scumbag has a taste for blood and is not afraid to get his hands dirty. But the good news is that justice has finally caught up with him. Fuzzy has been arrested in Hilland, where he faces charges of murder, conspiracy, and money laundering. Mr. Couscous, dubbed the notorious crime kingpin, it's a big fish in the global drug trade, but he is now locked up and hopefully will rot for a long time. That ruthless thug was nabbed in a fancy penthouse in Dublin. What do you think? Daniel Christopher Kinahan had been using that swanky spot as their private getaway whenever they sneaked back into their hometown. Daniel and Christopher had been close friends with Fatso for over 15 years and pulled some shady moves to smuggle him in. While hiding out there, this large thug, who was also wanted in Spain for plotting to disrupt the arrival of the Kinahan cartel, orchestrated a slew of attacks on the Hutch gang. When the Netherlands issued an arrest warrant for this 20-stone blob, he even supplied fake passports to his Kinahan associates. Yes, these Kinahan scumbags had his back. They owed him, you see. But you know what? For years, this monster eluded authorities all over Europe. He believed he was impenetrable. But guess what? The long arm of the law finally caught up to him, with the Irish police swooped in and arrested Fuzzy in that posh Dublin penthouse, thanks to their hard work. That is where the Kinahan brothers thought they were safe, but justice had other plans. Fuzzy was extradited to Amsterdam to face the music thanks to the hard work of the guard under this Thriddle Facey operation. And his criminal career ended when he was put on a strict prison diet, eating only porridge as punishment for orchestrating a failed gangland assassination. But believe me, Fuzzy's crimes were far from ordinary. The guy was charged with murder conspiracy and money laundering, and prosecutors were not shy about describing him as a mastermind behind a botched gangland hit on the target. Despite being shot 36 times in his car near Amsterdam on November 16th, Peter Petara miraculously survived. Can you believe it? 5 men were convicted and sentenced to prison terms ranging from 17 to 20 years, but prosecutors claimed that Fassi was the mastermind behind it all. They claimed he used code names such as Belly Tiger and Tito during the operation. And if that was not enough, he was also charged with money laundering. He paid the contract killers with €500 notes. Fassi's criminal activities in Ireland extended far beyond orchestrating attacks on his rivals. He also gave false passports to Kinahan gang members, assisting him in their illegal activities. His plans to elude justice were foiled, however. When Irish police raided his rented apartment, authorities seized a variety of items, including fake passports, designer watches worth up to $98,000, phones, memory sticks, $14,000 in cash, $330 in sterling, 880 trainers, and evidence linking him to criminal activity. Given the circumstances, Fuzzy's capture was a significant accomplishment for law enforcement. Multiple arrest warrants were issued for him, including charges related to a fight on a Dutch street, money laundering in the Netherlands, and money laundering related to the cash found in his Dublin apartment. Because of their failure to carry out the hit on Peter Rupp, those cops were drawn in his mess as well, and they're now investigating the December 2015 murder of Mohammad Reza Kalahi Samadi. They appear to be claiming that the Iranian government ordered the attack. Mohammad Reza Kalahi. In 1858, Samadi was born in Iran. He was a member of the Mujahideen people of Iran. This individual was suspected of involvement in a bombing at the Islamic Republic Party headquarters in 1981. That nonsense killed more than 70 officials. But guess what? Kalahi did not get away with it. As previously stated, he was arrested on December 15, 2015. The Islamic Republic of Iran is suspected of being behind this murder in the Netherlands, according to reports. He dropped out of the Iranian University of Science and Technology, but he was working as an electrician for the IRP. However, the story does not end there. Look at this man. The Kinahan cartel was concerned that Fussy knew too much about their dirty operations, and the guard described him as relatively cooperative, so they allegedly devised this sick plan to eliminate him. First, they planned to stage a jail attack to ensure he required hospital treatment. Then they planned to ambush the prison van as it was transporting him. But guess what? When the authorities learned of their evil plan, Fuzzy was transferred to Port Louis prison. They did put him in segregation because they did not want to take any chances. He has a criminal record that includes the use of weapons, explosives, and similar items, as well as extortion, assault, and drugs. Can you believe that nonsense? Fuzzy was eventually sentenced to 18 years in prison for his role in the attempted murder of Peter Rupp in April of 2018. Sunday World. According to the Sunday World, information from South America alerted Irish investigators to the Kinahan clan's potential liberation action. This incident exemplifies Fuzzy's close ties to the Irish Mafia and the lengths they were willing to go to protect their associates. The Irish Kinahan clan clearly sits at the top table of European organized crime. Multiple deaths and a wave of violence have resulted from their ongoing feud with the Hutch family. The arrests have now been made, and the subsequent attempt to liberation emphasizes the dangerous and far-reaching influence of these criminal organizations. Many in the underworld agree he is feared, and people watch their words when discussing him, and rightly so because he is suspected of a very serious crime. He probably benefits from his ties to one of the world's most powerful crime families. Today we're delving into the chilling world of organized crime as we explore the life of one of the most feared gangsters to ever rule the streets of Amsterdam. Prepare yourselves for an intense journey into the dark underworld as we uncover the story of Neufel Fassi. But before we dive in, let's set the stage. Amsterdam, known for its picturesque canals and vibrant culture, also harbors a hidden side, a world of crime and clandestine dealings. At the center of all it was Neufel, a notorious figure whose name struck fear into the hearts of many. How did they, once minor criminals in Amsterdam, become associated with the Kinahan family? Neufel's childhood. This is Neufel, also known as Neufel's story. Because of his posture, Neufel is also known as Nadal or Belly. He was born on September 9, 1980 in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, but grew up in and around Amsterdam. From 1991 to 1996, Neufel attended Penta Ray School in Amsterdam, a city near Amsterdam.
Panterei is a school for difficult students. Nofel has had a tendency to erupt in rage and exhibit aggressive behavior since he was a child. His childhood was difficult. He was imprisoned in a forensic psychiatric center between 2002 and 2012 for an exceptionally dangerous and violent robbery in Belnar, Amsterdam. A forensic psychiatric center goal is to rehabilitate defendants so that they can return to society as the better people they once were. Nofel grew into a feared man in the Amsterdam underworld who was not afraid of anything. He is almost mythical now, as he was when he was younger. He was unpredictable and could turn aggressive at any time. He cemented his position at the top by forming alliances with numerous criminal organizations in Amsterdam. He was arrested several times but remained unknown outside of the underworld. Nofel's name did not become widely known in the Dutch media until the end of 2012. The event in the Stadstille Dinbert was part of the underworld feud that was getting heated. The intended target survived and informed the chief detective that he recognized Nofel as one of the shooters. He told the chief some more mind-boggling facts about himself. He stated that you are grossly underestimating him. If he hits, he will have an entire graveyard to his name. He leaves no trace of himself. He was arrested after stabbing someone in the leg. He struck him again in the leg. To put it mildly, calling him a psycho is unfortunate for Nofel. There is insufficient evidence to charge him for what occurred in December of 2012. He walks freely. One thing is certain, this guy is a complete liar. As if the State Ilmenberg incident was not already insane enough, Nofel is also linked to what happened to Samar Scarface in August of 2014. He is said to have been present and possibly involved in the assassination attempt on Samir's life at the cafe in Benahavez, Spain. As with the Stadsinenberg incidents, there was insufficient evidence to charge him. Jib Hamish was also present at the meeting. After the incident, Najib Hamish went missing and was never found. Nofel is also involved in this. He allegedly cleaned both guys up for RICO with the Chilean, which could explain this Kinahan ties. Another intriguing Nofel-related incident occurred on November 5, 2015, in Diamond, and involved a man named Peter R. Peter R. is in for a surprise. He is a multifaceted criminal. Several of Amsterdam's underworld's big shots paid him frequent visits. On November 5th, Peter steps into his mother's gray Opel Antara car. As he gets inside and starts the car, a Volkswagen Golf comes racing towards him. Two men open fire on him. Peter slammed on the gas and raced down the sidewalk, through the bushes and into a small pond. He got out of the car and stayed underwater until he did not hear any more shots. Just moments after the chaos erupted, residents rescued him from the water. He is struck 6 times in the stomach but survives. After days of investigation, it was determined that the driver and shooters were Karim S. Kiosi and Atif M. During the investigation into the suspects, especially Atif M., it became clear that Nofel was the mastermind behind all of this. He was furious that the hit he had failed and demanded immediate answers from Atif. Nofel's PGP messages read, "Did the cops have the getaway car? Why was it not ablaze in the garage? You could have set it on fire before the cops arrived." Atif M responded submissively, "It could not have been set on fire right away. We did not have another car to jump into, we would still need it later. I'm not trying to trick you, we have discussed everything. We used ammonia to clean the entire car. I just hope that dog is gone." It is unclear why I felt I needed him to leave. It was most likely on someone else's orders. As if the story were not already intriguing enough, Nofel is linked to the mysterious hit on Ali Mohammed in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. The Iranian government sentenced him to death for his role in the 73-person bombing on June 28, 1981. Why would Nofel harm this man? I can hear you wondering, why do you do this to the man? The precise reason has yet to be determined. Was it an order from the Iranian government? This is an intriguing question. Mohammed worked as an electrician in the Netherlands, and despite further investigation, he was not involved in the underworld. According to the Dutch Department of Justice, it is clear that Nofel acted as an intermediary following the seizure of the Canadian servers used to send encrypted messages. On November 15, 2015, the guy messaged Randall D saying he had a nice job for him. Randall D is a fascinating figure in the Amsterdam underworld, who has been linked to a number of hits. The decline. Nofel continues, "The target is some Turkish guy in Emir, in his 40s. He drives a white van and I have no idea why he has to sleep. That does not bother me." He goes on to say, at 7 o'clock in the morning, he goes to his job. He then tells Randall that he needs to fix a house in Elmere that was intended for the shooters to hide the job. 10 days later, Randall D is arrested for the hit on a criminal from Amsterdam named Lucas Boom. Lucas Boom was a confidant of Willem Holledier, but that is another story. The Dutch General Intelligence and Security Services have always suspected that the Iranian government ordered this, but there is not enough evidence to back this up. What do you think? Was this ordered by the Iranian government? Tell me in the comments. The Netherlands has a long history on the water, particularly in the small city of Urk. Turkish fishermen would go out on their boats into the sea to fish for a living. The fishing boats are also suitable for other purposes, perhaps drug trafficking? This is exactly what Nofel did with them. The smuggled route. The seized PGP messages once again demonstrated how everything was done. Pictures of coke bricks were exchanged, prices per kilo were discussed, and traffic plans were devised, among other things. Nofel, along with 2 others, was at the helm of his smuggling route. This is how it worked. The kilos would be loaded onto a cargo ship departing from South America and passing through the Netherlands. On the cargo ship, there are also accomplices, most of whom are Montenegrins. The cargo ship's accomplices would share their position on the sea. Once in the vicinity in the fishermen, the cargo ship's accomplices would throw the shipment overboard. The fishermen would then drive up to the packages, load them on board, and safely transport them back to the dock. This happened late at night when the sea was pitch black. If you're wondering how the fishermen would find the shipment in the dark on an open sea, one of the accomplices' messages will explain. It is all in black duffel bags per 30 kilos, he said. Each duffel bag is tied with 1 empty 30-liter jerry can and 4 lights that are all tied together. I'm not saying it is waterproof or anything, but just in case. This message has been repeated several times in the last 2 years. It was a profitable route until the cops discovered it. Observation teams had observed Muhammad S., Leondert R., and Johannes N., and I saw them in the parking lot. I saw the lot in parking lots. This piqued their interest, and the reservation team realized something was going to happen soon. They were completely correct. After several successful attempts, Johannes N. was caught red-handed in June 2017 with 16 kilos on board. Initially, he was wanted for minor offenses such as money laundering and membership in an organized gang, but then came the more serious allegations after all of the hits, violence, and involvement in lucrative smuggling routes. Nofel was sentenced to life in prison.
And that is a story of one of the most fearsome gangsters, Nofel himself, yes. It's not the most gangster kind of name, but if you think about it, it is one of those names that could strike fear. I mean, it did strike fear in the hearts of many people, which is why we're on this video today. Nofel was a gangster, a gangbuster, somebody you do not want to mess with. Somebody that would do things that you would not appreciate. Heck, you wouldn't appreciate, you would not even be alive to tell what they were.
The judges were unequivocal in their decision. Nofel F. is a very dangerous man and an absolute danger to our society. Therefore, he is never allowed to participate in society ever again.